What's up, buddy?
What's up, man?
Oh, not a whole lot. Busy day. Sorry for the late show, guys, but I had some family stuff to take care of. Had some fun, and spent some time in the creepy woods. And it's tough when I try to think about what we haven't talked about yet on this show.
Yeah.
We covered a lot of stuff, and one thing that we really haven't spent too much time on specifically is the Ouija board. They creep the shit out of me, dude.
As well they should.
Do you really think that they're dangerous?
Absolutely they're dangerous.
Uh, why?
Bro, they open a gateway that you can't always close.
I've heard the same thing. Ouija boards are one of those things where it's like I don't know how real they are. I've messed with. Have you ever played with a Ouija board?
No, I've been
Played with a
smarter
Ouija board?
than that.
Yeah, I played with them a couple times. Well, at least once that I know for sure that possibly something strange happened. But we were kids. We were super young, so I mean, was the planchette really moving on its own? Who knows? But the reason why the Ouija board came into my head was, as you know, Matt, we were in Bowling Green, Kentucky,
Yes, we were.
and we were at what was that place called?
Smoky Bones.
Smoky Bones. It's this barbecue joint, and the bartender, I don't know, she seemed a little edgy. She had like purple hair, so we struck up a conversation, and what do you know? She thinks her house is haunted, right?
Oh yeah, big
And
time.
it all started with me asking her about tattoos and where I could get a tattoo while I was in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And she ended up pulling her ankle up and lifting her pants. And she had a Ouija board planchette tattooed. And I was like, whoa, that is some shit. And then she tells us about this haunted house and how it's a couple doors down from a cemetery and all this weird shit. If I remember right, Matt, she was saying that on the wall in one of her rooms, it said demon time. And then she
Yo.
found 666 in another room.
It's a
She has
demon time, yo.
demon time, yo. Yeah. It's just weird. But she has video of like a door opening and just weird stuff. But it made me think about because I told her, I was like, why on earth would you get a planchette tattoo? She's like, I don't know. She was kind of it was kind of funny. But I just man, so shout out to Bailey from Smoky Bones. Um, man, I don't know. Ouija boards creep the shit out of me, dude.
As well
Um,
they should, good sir.
yeah, I'll never play with them again. Um, but I do agree. I think they have the possibility to open doors. So I wanted to watch a video or two about the Ouija board and just get creeped out a little bit. So, should we talk about Blake's little thing?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So our buddy Blake, right? Great guy. Really isn't like Matt and I as far as like crazy shit we talk about, you know? And I don't know if he believes in the paranormal or not.
Um
I
I
don't know.
mean, he's from the bayou, so I mean he's gotta believe in that voodoo.
So to make a long story short, and I won't play the video unless did we get permission from him to play the video?
Uh
Why don't you look at
said that
that while I explain the
yeah.
story? So he's on the phone with a client. Blake's one of our car buddies, and he's on the phone with a client talking about the client's car and basically saying, if you bring it to me ready for just the electrical work, we could look who decided to join us today.
Is he here?
He's here. Blake is joining us on the show, and we're going to ask him to tell this story.
Oh gosh.
Blake.
There he is.
Oh, man. I'm so excited right now. So, we were just there too, so I'm a little upset that it happened after we left. But Blake, you have to share this story. Tell us the story. Tell us what happened.
So this was what? Oh man, this was like last night.
Yeah.
So we've been know each other a while, and I'm always like, man, I don't know about this, man. I'm okay, just kind of out there about it. I'm indifferent. And last night I was on the phone with a client who was asking me to take on his project, to Hemi swap his charger. And we're speaking, and I said, look, really, I kind of want to work on a project that I've been putting off as my grandfather's truck. He passed in 2004, and his truck has been with relatives, and I've inherited it, so it's mine now. And literally, I'm in my driveway, which is about, what you guys say, 200, 300 yards away from my shop, my workshop.
Yeah.
And I'm leaning on my pickup truck, and I'm talking to the client, and this was probably 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And I'm like, yeah, I would really want to work on, we called them pawpaw. So I said, I really want to work on my pawpaw truck. And as soon as I said that the truck parked in front of the shop 200-300 yards away, the headlights clicked on. Like the headlights just came on. And I'm like, that is really weird. Like as soon as I said his name, the headlights clicked on. And so I walked over. I'm still on the phone, and I'm talking to the guy, and I'm like, this is crazy. The headlights just came on. And he's like, what are you talking about? And I explained to him. I walked over, opened the door, the dome light came on in the truck, and the switch, the rocker switch for the headlight, it was tripped. I had to click it and turn it off, and it went off. So it was really bizarre. And I caught it all on video, so I sent you guys the video of the headlights just sporadically clicking on. It was nuts.
Yeah, is that the older Chevy where it's actually like the rocker switch on the dash? Where
Yeah. It's like a 94. It's like a squared up dash, and the big rocker, the clunk, clunk, big rocker. It was down, and I could not explain it. So it was pretty insane. I was a little creeped out.
Now, Blake,
I don't blame you.
Blake's a very smart individual. He's an engineer. Okay. So when you have an engineer saying he can't explain it, there's something to it. I think Papa was sending you a message, dude.
For sure.
Is that the only paranormal thing that's ever happened to you in your life?
I'm pretty sure.
Gosh, that's so crazy. Wow. When you least expect it, I mean, what are the odds? What I mean? What are the odds? Oh, gosh.
The timing was impeccable. I couldn't explain it, man. It was nuts. It was. I think he wants me to fix his truck, man.
I think he does. He's like, get to it.
He's like,
get after it.
Oh gosh.
You guys saw it. And it was the timing was crazy because it was dark out, right? So it's dark. I'm all alone, literally standing out, and I was facing in that direction. Yeah. Just staring in that direction, and just click. There they go.
What went through your mind? What went through your mind when that happened?
At first I was like, wait a minute. Is this just a coincidence? Maybe I'm thinking maybe, there was an electrical short or something. It's an older truck that has sat up a long time. Yeah. And I thought it was maybe an electrical glitch. My first thought is always something rational, right? So I'm like, it's probably got a funky, faulty headlight switch just from sitting out in the sunlight and everything. Maybe dry rotted. Everything's plastic, in those 80 Chevys, those or 90 Chevys. So I think, okay, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to open the door, and the switch is just going to be like toast. Like, I'm going to sit there and toggle the switch. The headlights are going to stay on, and it's just something rational like that.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Nope. Went over there, click. Everything went off, shut the door, and I just kind of like,
yeah.
It was nuts.
What did you think about the story?
What's that?
What did your wife think about it?
Oh, they were just, they just kind of speechless.
Yeah,
they couldn't really describe it.
Wild.
I sent the video to my mother, so that was her father's truck, and then I sent the video to my aunt. My aunt is the one who had the truck for the last 20 years, since he passed. It was kind of a work truck for her husband. He drove it in the farming fields out here. It's a sugar cane. So the truck really, since my uncle had it, led a pretty beat up life. I mean, it was
Mhm.
just always parked out in the fields and sun beating on it, never washed. Interior's in great shape, but the paint's all faded and needs a lot of work. But she was the one that I'd always told her. I said, hey, don't sell it. I want it.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready to get rid of it, don't sell it. I want it. And so for my birthday this past year, she said, hey, I got a birthday present for you. And literally she came over and handed me the keys to the truck.
That's so cool.
So it was dope. Yeah, I was so jacked about it. And so anyway, I sent her I told her the story, what happened. I texted her and I sent her the video, and she was like, oh my God, that's insane. It's just, yep, he's talking to you. He's talking to you.
Oh man.
He's saying he's proud of you. So it's
Hell
crazy.
yeah, dude. Absolutely. What a fun little, you're talking to a guy who's an electrical genius. You know what I mean?
Like
if it happened to me, I'd be like, I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? I've hoped to get messages from family members that have moved on, and maybe I've just missed them, but there is no mistaking your papa's lights turning on in his truck. My God, were you close with him?
I would say so. Later in life. So he was older, much older. My mom was the second to youngest of 6 girls. So he had 6 daughters.
Okay.
He was born in 1918.
Oh wow.
Oh, good
Okay.
Lord.
So he was when he passed, he was in his 80s back in the 2000s, I think. So, he was getting up there. And most of my cousins from my older aunts, I have aunts that are 80 now, so most of my cousins from those aunts, they were 15 years older than me, 15 years older than me coming up. I was on the younger spectrum, So when I came around, I think I was, 14, 15, learner's permit, just starting to drive. I would go there when I was 10, 12, stuff like that, and just spend the night. But as I was able to drive, he was becoming to be not able to drive. He just really, his reaction time wasn't quite there. He loved that truck though. That was the only new vehicle he ever bought in his life.
Sure.
And he did it when he was in his 80s. It's crazy.
Wow.
Or in his late 70s. Well, I would go, and the memories I really have of him is really my early teenage years through when I first started driving. I would go there, spend the weekend with him, and just do whatever he needed. I would climb on the roof of his shop, his work shed, and I would sweep branches off and clean gutters, and I would drive him around on any errand he wanted to go in his truck. So we drove in that truck together all the time.
Oh yeah.
I'd go pick him up, and I'm like, where do you want to go? Let's go to the bank. Let's go to the hardware store. Okay, wherever you want to go, I'll take you. And I was just a young kid.
Yeah.
So that's where we kind of bonded, is running errands together in that truck, more or less.
There you go, folks.
That's
Doesn't
awesome.
get much more paranormal than that. What a cool message. What a cool hey Blake.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, that is
So
it's
nuts.
awesome, dude. I'm very happy that it happened to you. I wouldn't be scared. I think that's awesome. That's awesome.
I always thought that it would be, right? It'd be creepy and I'd be freaked out, but I was just kind of like, all right, I got you.
Yeah.
A message loud and clear.
Yeah.
It's not always creepy.
Yeah. For sure, don't show up in my shop all white and creepy when it's dark. Yeah, if there's any way to get a message, it's something like subtle, but like, okay, that's undeniable,
Yeah, that was, it's a big clunky rocker switch. I couldn't see it just flipping on its own.
Yeah.
Nah.
No.
Man, when you sent that to us, I got goosebumps. I was like, oh my gosh, what do we have here? And then you had video, and I was like, dude, I was so stoked.
I have another video. So that was the video off the shop where the main, like the large roll-up door is, the 12-foot door. And then I have other cameras around the house, and one was aimed at me. So if you actually overlay the two, you can see me on one video leaned on the truck, looking that way.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you can just kind of see it. And the camera is a fair distance away, so you can't read facial expressions, but my body language was just like, it was
man.
Wait a minute.
And so what I sent you, that was the video in real time. Like the lights came on, and
Yeah.
then you saw me walk across
Yeah.
the yard to turn them off.
Yeah. I was actually creeped out just watching you go over there because it's like, what could possibly be going through his mind right now? Like the timing, like, yeah, doesn't get
Think
much
about it.
more.
It was I had been all over, with my kids.
Yeah.
He's really one of my sons really involved in baseball, so I'd been all over. Um, just gotten home really, and I was on the phone with the client. Like I said, we went to baseball practice, and the team went eat pizza afterwards. And my son ran in the house, and I said, "Okay, well, let me finish this phone call, and then I'll be in the house shortly." And that's when it happened. So it's the timing. Like I had to be in the driveway, I had to be looking that direction. It had to be at a specific time, and it's nuts.
Man, how cool is that? And you're not really you're not like Matt and I were like, so first of all, I'm jealous because both gentlemen on the show right now have seen something and experienced something cool, and I have not. Not that I can for sure say,
Mhm.
nothing that I can for sure say like that. Like if I had an experience like that, there's no denying it. There's something after this life, and we live on. Whatever that may be. So cool. So cool.
I don't know. I honestly, guys, like, I mean, I've always been, I wouldn't say a non-believer, but
Yeah.
I would say just like, I've never seen that. I can't, also the scientific mind, I'm like, there's got to be an explanation or
Yeah.
whatever. And so like not disbelief, but not gung ho either, just kind of like, all right, whatever. And last night I was like, oh, that's some shit.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I'm glad that happened to you in such a cool, subtle way. It's just really awesome. It doesn't get much cleaner than that as far as like a message, like, hey, Oh man,
crazy, man.
maybe he could help you get some work done. Hey, you want to help me with some of these harnesses?
Well, so the crazy thing about my grandfather is, I like to say there are two things that really led me to be an engineer. And one, he never really had an education. I mean, he grew up a cowboy. He rode a horse in
Sure.
in the 1918s. I mean, that was really before the Model T even.
Yep.
So he was an inventor, and I always went to his house, and he had the most crazy things that he would come up with. So if I were sick and I couldn't go to school, my mom would drop me off there, and I'd watch MacGyver, right?
Yeah.
So that, oh man, you MacGyver, you got to make anything,
There you go.
Then I'd go in the backyard, and he made his own leaf blower. I mean, he literally took a used dolly, like you would, I don't know, haul around luggage or a small appliance with, right? He took a used dolly and took we call it a squirrel cage. It's a cylindrical blower,
Okay.
or an electric blower wheel. It's really came from an home HVAC unit, like in the attic. So he literally took that, bolted it to a dolly, and took a house like light switch and did this stuff. And he would just walk around. He needed something that he could use almost like a walker as well. He couldn't really hold a big heavy leaf blower, and he would walk around his backyard and literally blow off his driveway with this contraption, and he would do things like having he'd get a bunch of connections for an actual leaf blower, and he'd get like a 180-degree PVC pipe, and he couldn't hold it, but he'd get me to, and he said, okay, get up there and use it and go down the shop and blow the gutter out with this contraption that he built. So he was always building something. And one of the craziest things he had was he had an old Maytag washing machine, like a laundry washing machine. And when I'm saying old, the lid was like the lid of a pot. It had a handle in the middle, and you'd pull it off, set it to the side, and mounted to the side of it. This is how it came, was a squeeze roller. You'd stick the laundry in it, and you'd turn the handle, and it would squeeze it. I mean, it's like one step shy of a washing board.
That's
Like
wild.
this was probably from the 40s, this washing machine, and that's how he used to descale his fish.
Wow.
Dude, it was like in his backyard. He'd come home from fishing, he'd put his bass in there, and he'd turn it on, and the whole thing would jump and gyrate, and he'd pull out the fish, and it would have every single scale missing off of it.
That is wild.
Anyway, but it's crazy that a lot of that has led to, I think, me being an engineer and kind of
Yeah, for sure.
trying to problem solve and stuff like that. It's kind of crazy.
That is so cool, man. Have you ever played with a Ouija board, Blake? I'm guessing no.
Hell no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Me and Blake are the smart ones here.
Oh,
Like, look, I'm not the smartest man alive, but I mean, I just don't believe in putting my toe in the devil's pool there. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Do
For
you,
sure.
boo?
See, when I was a kid and that situation happened, I didn't know that there was a, possibility to open a door to whatever, So now that I know, I'm never touching one again.
So, wait. You have to inform me. I don't know much about this stuff, right?
Sure.
Aren't Ouija boards made by like Milton Bradley or something?
You could get them in Toys R Us. You could get them at toy stores, anywhere that sold board
What?
games. Craziest thing ever.
Hey,
Yeah.
bro. Corporations don't care about your soul.
They
Okay.
definitely don't care about your soul.
That's weird.
It's so weird, right? Who knows why they would, maybe they just didn't believe in them. I don't even know if I believe in them, but we have a couple videos here that we're going to pull up and play. One of them is about 12, 13 minutes long, and it's "Are Ouija boards real?" And I just kind of want to.
Blake, can we show your video real fast?
Yeah, you want to?
I'm sure Chris has it where we can play it.
Yeah. You want me to pull it up? Let me pull it up. Yeah, man. God.
Ouija boards, man. Out. Bless it.
Yeah, with some holy water and fire.
Oh, you know what?
What? It makes me think, right? I always think about authenticity. I mean, does one from Toys R Us work, or do you need one from the spawn of Satan himself? Like, is there a legit Ouija board, or is there? I mean, like, who christens or whatever the devil version of that is a Ouija board, right?
Bro, they have an anthropomorphic, or however you say it, giraffe as their spokesperson. They made some deals.
Yeah.
And they died and came back, dude.
Yeah.
They did.
Lazarus.
They definitely did. I just think that any type of communication like that, I had to email it to myself. Any type of communication device like that, I think, if there is some sort of other dimension or other,
You can have
way
that.
of communication, I think they'll use it, no matter who makes it. So
I mean, it makes you wonder, like, is there like when you touch one, is there like a bar that pops up for like signal? Like, guys, I'm only like I only got purgatory signal, and then like there's the full bore, like
It's like 5G.
yeah, 5G, like when you're really connected because the Satan himself pops up. I like your cut, G, slaps you on the back of the head.
Let me see if I can pull this into the. See if I can add it into the actual StreamYard itself here.
Come with me.
It really is the video creeps me out, but like not in a bad way. It's just like kind of gives you goosebumps, Google Chrome.
It's nothing fancy. I mean, it's no like levitating furniture or anything like that. But...
we are going to see some crazy shit in just a little bit. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Blake's got that long walk back to the house in voodoo country.
He's
He's fine.
He's got
Pawpaw out there. I won't worry about it at all. Where the heck is this thing? Maybe I can just share my screen.
Sorry, my bar stool here has a squeaking mind of its own.
It's all good.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. So
Yeah, there it is. They
There
just
are the
came
lights.
on by
The
themselves.
lights just came on by themselves. Let's watch that again. So crazy. Boom. Nobody in the truck. No
No dome light.
foolery.
So look, I mean, you'll see when I open it. If you open a door, I mean, the truck electrically and interior wise is very sound. You know, when I open the door, you'll see the dome light come on. So it's not like somebody opened the door and got in there or anything. It just the lights came on, and it takes a few minutes for me to walk across the yard. But you'll see when I open the door, the dome light comes on, and I just click, turn the lights off.
Yeah, clearly, nobody's in the truck. You know. Oh man.
They got Low Buck just sitting there looking all
sad.
There's Blake on the phone.
On the phone, literally, right?
Dome light comes on. Turns the rocker switch off. My God.
Dang, those dome lights are straight from Jesus. Look at that purifying light shining down.
They legit. I haven't changed them. That's the original dome lights from '94.
Bro, them suckers are brighter than my future.
But how weird is that?
This is so wild, weird, dude. My God.
There it is.
There you go, dude.
I think what's even weirder to me is you were in like so much shock you calmly just opened that door and clicked them off and walked away.
I was expecting to see like a rat or something jumping around, or a shot at electrical short, or some kind of a shot switch. Like I was expecting to hit the switch and it would be just like crackle and spark or something, because something was not right with it for a 20-something-year-old truck.
Like a puff of smoke or something.
Yeah,
crazy.
Nothing. I mean, I'm looking around. The interior's clean as can be.
Just nonchalantly walking over. I would be so
just
I guess if I was in that situation, I wouldn't.
Just cruising over there like on the phone, like, yeah, hang on, Grandpa's being a dick again. Quick. Trying to run the battery down.
Insane. Absolutely nuts, dude. That's so cool. I'm so happy that happened for you.
No, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's nuts, but man, that's such a cool story too.
It is. Absolutely is. Okay, let me see here. All right, we're going to watch this first video that asks if Ouija boards are real. Okay.
Does anybody else hear a kid?
What?
My house is dead quiet right now. I did hear that though.
You heard that, right?
I absolutely heard it. My daughter is passed the hell out right now.
That was fucking weird.
Huh. I think my daughter's awake. My wife is talking to her. Okay.
Oh, see, even the people in the chat are like, no, I heard it.
My dogs are out there, but maybe they woke the kid up. Interesting.
Great show. Too bad I can't stay though.
Oh, man. Let's talk about Ouija boards. Whoa.
It's Blake's stool.
Oh, is that what it is?
Oh God.
This damn stool.
I was like, that for sure was not my kid. Okay.
This is where we stamp debunked on the screen.
Debunked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a stool.
Okay.
Shitty stool.
Oh man, had me legitimately freaked out there for a second.
Bro, I was like, does anyone else hear the child? Hey, there's nothing wrong with happy kids until it's 3 a.m. and you're by yourself and you have no children.
You're playing with the Ouija board.
Let's see here.
Audio's good. It's coming through.
Okay. All right, here we go. Let's learn about some Ouija stuff.
If you're playing with the Ouija board, the Ouija board, the idea is it's not your hands moving the thing around, but it's demons basically. It's moving the
right off to a good start.
So, it's funny because my first encounter.
Oh Jesus Christ! Look at this dude.
As a prop for Halloween, no one played with it. It was just when Halloween parties, and she'd just have the Ouija board there, just be a prop, right?
This guy.
And I think one of the first times I remember using it, and it wasn't
Pause
like I
for 2
did
seconds.
this like hundreds of times. It was maybe a handful.
Pause. You know, this mother trucker has a fucking Facebook profile picture of him like this.
This is namaste on his bio.
Namaste. Got the praying hands. Guarantee you, he has a tattoo of praying hands with a rosary on it.
He actually-
Guaranteed.
He looks just like for UFC fans. He looks just like Jorge Masvidal.
I mean,
who's
it
a
could be
UFC
Jorge.
fighter. That'd be crazy, right?
I
Oh,
mean, look at this
interesting.
dude. Just look at him.
Yeah, there's some.
I just want to grab him by that top
7
mop and
pounds.
deliver an
The
uppercut.
first time it worked was I was at a friend's house. It was, I think, like 8th grade summer or something, 8th grade summer, and there was a group of us at this girl's house, and so it was a group like maybe 5 or 6 was playing it, and it starts to move. Now everyone's first reaction is it you? Is it you? Is it you? Everyone's no, I swear, no, I promise, no. Everyone's denying. I know it's not me. The thing starts to move. People start getting freaked out, and me again. I'm challenging this stuff. I think it's a joke.
Yeah.
Because even though I think like, oh, it really is moving on its own at this point now, but I'm like asking it stupid questions, like, oh, if you're real, show your face, and stuff like that.
Smart.
And so it starts to move, and people will start getting freaked out. So it was like me, and I think it was like 2 or 3 other girls and another guy. They said, and they start saying, one of them said, you have to ask it if you can leave. Like, I heard, you can't just, or I'll leave the door open. You have to ask if you're allowed to leave. So they said, can I leave? And it goes, yes. Can I leave? Yes. And so next thing I know, it's just me and this one girl. And she says, can I leave? And it says, no. So she goes to try, and she's like, can I leave? No. And it goes, no, no. And she just freaked out, and she just ran off. And I was sitting there and just laughing and
So it wasn't you moving it.
Mm-mm.
And so you could say, well, maybe it's this girl just wants to, spend more time with you.
Yeah.
You say, okay, I'm going to move it to say no.
Yeah.
But she gets very freaked out, and then she leaves.
No, it was genuine fear. Like, she was like, oh my gosh, I said no, no. She just like freaked out and she left. So that was like the first time I saw something come from it. And then years later, I played it. Back when I was getting really into the DMT, I had one.
Of course, this guy does DMT.
This guy was,
Good
he was
God.
stoic kind of guy. He wasn't a type of guy to like get scared easily. Like me and him used to, do all types of crazy stuff together. He wasn't the type of guy to for one, to play into it, and two, to get scared about stuff like this. It's just me and him, and we start playing, and like I said, I lived on that battlefield, and so we start asking it, thing that starts moving. I didn't even need to ask. I knew it wasn't him. He knew it wasn't me. It starts moving. So we're asking him multiple questions, and I start asking him like, well, when am I gonna die? When? And it gives me a number, and it says from an overdose. It says 37 from an overdose. He asked it, and it gave him a number, and it gave him it said, I think, like heart failure or something, heart attack or something. To this day, that friend is scared. He called me literally like last year. He said he freaked out. And this is 2012, 2013. I mean, to this day, he's still afraid of that. He still thinks that's going to happen.
Yeah, of course. How old are you?
I'm 30. Yeah.
Are you scared?
No, because I think the blood broke the curse. So, but I think that it would have happened. I think that was the intention. I think that was the plan for my life, maybe, But he still thinks that, like, he called me actually like a year ago or something. He said, dude, I only have a year left, if that, like, he thinks it's going to happen.
Right, because demons can't read your mind. Demons are not God. Demons are not omniscient or anything like that. But they are pretty good observers of behavior. And so based on the behavior that you were exhibiting for a long time, it may have been a perfectly reasonable inference to say, oh yeah, you'll die at 37 from a drug overdose.
Yeah, 100%.
So why are you doing, because people tell me this, they say, oh yeah, I'd play with Ouija boards and crystals and weird astrology stuff, but it was all just kind of silly games. And I think, when I want to play a silly game, I play Monopoly. Why, what is it about, what drew you to the Ouija board and all the occult stuff?
I think just us as humans, we're drawn to the taboo. I think it's part of our nature. Yeah. We like that mystery. That's why people like horror movies and stuff. And it's like,
and your inhibitions are already a little bit weakened because you're doing all this other crazy.
Yeah. I liked that right. Like kind of that. I like the demonic type of stuff. I was drawn to the dark stuff, not not in the sense of, hey, devil with pitchfork and horns. but the stuff that made people uncomfortable. I wanted to go into the water that everyone else was like, I don't know, that's a little crazy.
The secret.
Yeah. And so it was just something I did with like friends. I'd play the Ouija board. I started doing psychics. I started, I went into all that because Buddhism is already kind of branched. I would say those are branches of that. It's like that whole world kind of comes together. It's the same thinking. And so I started getting more into the occult. And so what was crazy is when I was about 2012, I was doing a lot of psychedelics. I was doing a lot of heroin. I was in probably the worst place I had ever, one of the darkest places in my life. And so I had this moment of like, I'm having encounters with light beings. Why am I not happy? Why am I still stuck? I can't stop doing heroin. I want to kill myself, and I'm thinking I'm enlightened. I would have a trip, and for a week I'd be the most enlightened. I think I was Gandhi. For the next week, I'm Gandhi, everybody. And then a week later, I want to kill myself. And so I'm starting to connect these dots. Like, this doesn't make sense. Like, why am I having these great experiences, but I can't ever bring back the fruit or what I thought was fruit? I can't ever bring it back to my life. And I can't find the power to overcome any of my obstacles.
What did you think the light beings were? Did you think it was a figment of your imagination, just a chemical product of the
Absolutely
of the drugs, or did you think they were angels?
So with acid and mushrooms, you don't
Bro,
typically,
I would just
at least
get
I
up and
never
walk
had
out
visuals
of this
where
interview.
like, oh, I'm seeing this thing just pop up. It's more like the walls will melt. Everything's a lot more vibrant. But you
Okay.
Because you
This is
tripping
not
on
convincing
drugs.
me that Ouija boards are real. This is convincing me that drugs make you see crazy shit. Okay.
Drugs are bad, okay?
All right.
Okay.
I was wondering where that was going to go. That was not what I was expecting. So I was prepared.
You weren't prepared for a prime example of what happens when you do a lot of drugs. The guy looked like he's about to drop the hottest ska album since 2001.
I'm pretty sure, like, I know it's real, but yeah, I was like on 8 pounds of mushrooms.
Good God.
I was doing copious amounts of heroin and I saw some
Kidding,
shit.
guy.
I saw some shit.
There was a dragon guarding my kitchen for 8 years.
All right, let me see. Where was that one?
Dude said, I wanted to take what I saw and bring it back to the real world. I was like, dude. Wow.
Here we go.
Like, if I was the interviewer, I would have just walked out as soon as that dude started being like, yeah, I was on copious amounts of heroin and shrooms when I saw all this stuff.
All right.
Yep, that'll do it.
All right, we're going to end on this video. Let's see what kind of crazy stuff we can see here. Share that one. Okay. This is allegedly the 12 scariest Ouija board videos YouTubers caught on tape. So let's see if they see anything crazy.
Let's do it.
Supposedly turn to the afterlife.
This guy.
Oh, yes.
Shit.
YouTubers have found. You may not always like what's waiting to be found on the other side. Number 12. A YouTuber named Stromedy and his friend journey into a maze of tunnels deep underground to conjure the spirit of a girl who supposedly had her life forcibly taken down there long ago. They don't appear to be very
murdered
beginning, but their attitude soon changes when they think they've summoned a relatively friendly spirit named Abby. Then roughly 9 minutes into the video, they feel another presence enter, and this happens.
Oh, dude, it's doing figure eights again. What? Can you stop? Can you please? Holy, that's crazy. Whoa!
They briefly consider leaving, but then Kyle volunteers to look through the middle of the pointer instead. Earlier, Abby said whoever does this will be able to see her true form. Kyle bravely puts the pointer to his eye and peers into the unknown.
Oh, you there, bro? Oh. Dude, seriously. Dude.
Let's just go. Let's go back. I know what you mean now. Let's go back.
Did you see her? What'd you see?
Let's go grab the board and let's go.
Well, for sure leave the board. See ya.
Fairly genuine, but let me know if you agree or not. Number 11. Beyond this fence lays an abandoned asylum that a YouTuber named TGF Bro and his friends badly want to explore. The inside looks like a tattered mansion on the verge of collapse. Strange noises follow them as they progress deeper into the interior of the asylum.
Stop. Did you get that on camera?
When they get deep enough, TGF Bro pulls out a Ouija board and begins directing questions to whoever or whatever is near.
Is anybody there? Please move the triangle to yes.
The group hears a loud bang directly behind them, and they all take off. I noticed that the third person was off camera though, so maybe that person made the commotion and then acted scared. Then again, old asylums are supposed to be notoriously haunted, so I wouldn't be surprised if the Ouija board really did bring spirits near. Number 10. A YouTuber named Danny Willent9 records some very strange happenings during a candlelit Ouija session.
This is how you get house fires.
For
Shag
sure.
carpet,
The pointer
candles.
begins going wild, seemingly on its own.
Alphabet, and that goes through the thing backwards. Is when
Bro, it's making a figure 8, bro.
They try to end the session multiple times, but apparently each time the spirit refuses to let them. The spirit eventually reveals itself to be named Abigail. They ask it to physically reveal itself a few times, but nothing happens. So they decide to try and end the session. Abigail, however, seems to have other plans for them.
It's not letting me push down, bro. Bro, it's not letting me push down.
What do you mean?
I
It's
saw
not
that thing
letting me
move like
push
4
down to
times.
goodbye.
Finally, the force holding back the pointer is released, and they're able to move it over goodbye. I honestly can't tell if Danny was doing this himself or if his spirit was doing
Show
this
me something
instead.
good.
So I'm interested in hearing your thoughts as to the authenticity of this video. Number 9. Robin Adri is the name of a YouTube channel with an interesting Ouija board experiment at 3 a.m.
Is there any spirits out here that would like to contact us?
They try to get the ghost to spell its name, but the session gets off to a bad start after they complain about how slow the ghost is at spelling. This seems to aggravate the spirit, and it asks to speak with Rob's twin brother Steven by spelling its name over and over again. The spirit goes on to profess that it does not have good intentions for his brother Steve.
Do you want to hurt Steven?
After a while, the Ouija board stops spelling Steven long enough to spell out Zozo instead. They
Zozo.
eventually end the session properly and even get assured that they will be left.
Have you heard about Zozo?
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, Zozo is an. It's weird. Zozo is an entity that comes through Ouija boards quite often.
Alone in
Whatever
the
that means.
future.
You said that you will not haunt
It's
us,
the one who
right?
answers the bell when it goes off.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
But it seems as though Zozo may have been luring them into a false sense of security. As they are leaving, they see a rattlesnake nearby, and it seems to be paying special attention to Steven. Rob and Adri are convinced that Zozo was sending them a warning sign in the form of a
Holy
serpent,
shit.
but I think this could also just be a coincidence. Let me know what you think. Number 8. A YouTuber named Chaos Prodigy and his friends
Chaos
gather
Prodigy.
around a Ouija board deep in the woods late at night. They are completely alone and surrounded by nothing but wilderness as they place their fingers on the pointer and invite any nearby spirits to guide them. Not much happens for a while until they ask if a spirit is around and get a sarcastic no in response. The spirit is in the middle of spelling its name when all of a sudden they are interrupted by something off camera.
what is that?
W.
No, V. The V.
What the? Say goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
There's some sort of banging noise in the distance, and that's enough of a reason for them to end the session early. This video is uncomfortably way too short to tell if they were hearing something paranormal or just some local
You know, they're outside. Of
wildlife.
course, they're going to hear
Maybe if
stuff.
they
Same
had
with
stuck
inside
around
those
for
old buildings.
longer,
Of
they
course,
could
you're
have
going to
had
hear
more
stuff.
questions
You know what I mean?
answered. But at
Yeah.
the same time, I can't exactly blame them for leaving as fast as possible.
I don't blame Bigfoot for
Number
chasing them out of the
7.
woods. I wouldn't want that
Jesse
shit played with in my
Sims
house
and her
either.
friend use a
They
Ouija
always
board
pick up the
only to
Ouija board and
discover
take it
they
with
are
them. It's like,
surrounded
nah,
by 3
see ya.
Bro,
spirits.
leave it
She claims to
behind.
Keep
get
the
dizzy and
$25
asks if
Ouija
it's a
board I
good
bought
spirit
at
she's talking
Walmart,
to.
you know?
The spirit gives them a negative response, so Jesse fights her panic and asks,
Is this Zozo?
Oh,
Why
God.
would you ask that?
the pointer
What
stays
the
over
fuck?
no. It's not Zozo after all. Still, they both have a bad feeling, so they decide to ask.
What do you want from us? Shut up.
You, the ghost responds. A short while later, Jesse's nose begins to gush red. Number 6. A YouTuber named Hunting the Dead dares to play with a Ouija board inside of his own home. Aside from using the board itself, he also has a ghost hunting device which scans different frequencies for any signs of the paranormal. He begins asking questions out loud, and it isn't long before he gets a fairly clear response.
Is there evil in this home?
The spirit then begins highlighting the same number 3 times in a row.
6. Holy shit. 6.
Hunting the Dead soon finds out exactly who the spirit is
It's a
and what
little
it
cliche
wants.
for me.
Zozo, do you want to attack me? Whoa. It's on yes, it went off.
Shortly afterwards, Hunting the Dead begins to
Oh,
feel
wow.
gravely ill and needs to go to the hospital. Number 5. Ashley Ortega and her friend Corey are making a video about how to play with a Ouija board. Ashley claims to have some bad experiences with the board before and is hesitant
Okay, so
about
let's try
trying
it again, you moron.
Curiosity
Good
gets the
God.
best of her and they start asking questions. After a while, they think they're communicating with an 84-year-old male spirit who refuses to provide much information. It seems to select letters at random or doesn't respond at all, but Ashley knows something is near and starts shaking. It then correctly tells
Stranger Thing
Ashley how
Ouija
old
board?
she is and says
Looks
that
like
it
it.
watches her.
I'm done. I'm done.
I'm so.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
No, let's ask.
They continue to ask for more information and get some predictions about Ashley's future. It's impossible to verify if these predictions will come true or not. However, this does happen shortly before they conclude the session.
Your nose is bleeding. Your nose is bleeding.
Let me know if you've had anything similar happen to your
First of all,
nose while playing
way too
with a
calm.
Ouija
That's be a
board.
real nosebleed.
Number 4. A YouTuber
I panic when
named
my nose
Maximus
bleeds and it
and his
just bleeds
friends are
'cause of
playing
dry
with a
weather.
Ouija board in the shed. At first, they can't stop goofing around for long enough to take it seriously, but as time goes on, they start to concentrate more on the board and less on making jokes.
Are you there?
Maybe lift your arms up.
Why?
Cause it.
What?
Yo.
No, that was you. Is that not you?
LSU? Is
They
that what that
laugh
was?
wildly to cover up the mounting tension as they realize a ghost might actually be near. Unlike
Yep.
most of the videos, nothing happens for a long time, and the pointer stays completely still. They go back to making sarcastic jokes until another event gives them pause.
Are you standing next to Frank Tilton? Are you Frank Tilton?
When was he born?
Stop playing. Stop.
Oh my god, no way! That actually fell.
They are still acting like they don't care very much, but they decide to leave the shed just in case something is watching them. There's something about this video and their excitedly skeptical reactions that seems very genuine to me. Number 3. A YouTuber named Jeff Saxton is playing with his Ouija board all alone one Friday night. He
Jeez.
asks if any spirits are around him and immediately gets a positive response. He contemplates quitting but decides he owes it to his viewers to keep going. He's in the middle of asking some routine questions when all of a sudden this happens.
What the yo, guys. Ow!
His pointer slips away and something knocks over his camera. Jeff Saxton steadies the camera and refocuses it on 3 tiny claw marks, now adorning his right arm. It's hard to say if these are fresh marks or just old scratches from a cat or something like that, so give me your best guess as to whether this video is real or fake. Number 2. After a full day of hanging out with his friends and joking around, Mikey Mamps decides to get serious and play with a Ouija board in a supposedly haunted tunnel at the local state park.
We're going to try to contact the spirits that lay here, that live here, and that haunt this area.
Things don't go exactly as planned. He and his crew spend most of the night dodging park rangers, and it's already 5 in the morning by the time they set up. Cars also still drive through this tunnel, so, aside from getting busted by rangers, they are also worried about getting run over. What's really weird is how a car comes by literally every time Mikey asks if any spirits are near.
Are there any spirits here that would like to contact us? Hear another car?
Yeah. Are you kidding me? I think we're good. Oh, we're chilling.
Why do we keep hearing that?
I don't know.
This happens on about 3 or 4 separate occasions, and I have to admit that the timing is quite odd. Anyway, they are becoming a little frustrated by the suddenly high volume of traffic and decide to ask a question one more time. At the far end of the tunnel comes an unexpected response that leaves them terrified.
I don't understand why we're not getting an answer.
I'm getting so nervous.
I keep hearing things.
I hear
Is that a car?
No way.
What? Oh, shit.
Dude!
Come on.
They peel out of the tunnel without properly ending the session by pointing over goodbye. This means that whatever they summoned was never returned to its own realm, or at least that's what happens according to the Ouija legend. Either way, let me know if you think Mikey and his friends really did summon a ghost, or if it was just someone they knew wearing a costume. Before we get to
Someone
number
they
1,
knew.
my name is
100%.
Chills, and I hope you're enjoying my narration. If you're curious about what I look like in real life, then go to my Instagram at Dylan is Chillin' YT and tap that follow button to find out.
See, I'm not convinced at all.
Currently doing
but I'm also not willing to.
on my
I'm
Instagram.
super
If
not
you
willing
believe
to play with a
ghosts are
Ouija board
real,
again to
then go to
find
my
out.
most
You know
recent
what I mean?
photo and
Bro,
tap the like button.
This guy's
If you
narration's
don't,
always
DM
cracking
me
up. His
saying
videos
why.
are usually more
When you're
entertaining
done,
than
come
creepy.
right back to this
For
video
sure.
to find out the number 1 entry. Chills merch is now available.
Chills
and I'm gifting
merch.
viewers who spend
Chills
over
merch, huh?
$100
There
with
it
a
is.
100% free foot lettuce t-shirt to show my appreciation. This offer won't last forever,
Yeah.
so get yours by
All right, let's see
visiting
this number 1 video.
chillsmerch.com. Also, follow me on Twitter at YT_chills because that's where I post
just think it's
video
funny
updates.
that they-
It's a proven
if
fact
any of these
that
are real.
generosity makes you a happier person.
Hit me with your best
If you're
shot, big
generous
shoots.
enough to hit that subscribe button and the bell beside
They're willing to
it,
mess
then
with stuff, and
thank
when stuff
you.
happens, they
This
get
way
scared.
You'll be
It's like,
notified of the new
you know,
video I upload every
if
Thursday.
it's real.
Number 1.
All right, here we go. Let's
A
see what they got.
YouTuber named Jerry Wells and a housemate sit across from each other while
Jerry
playing
Wells.
with a Ouija board.
Why does that sound familiar?
Apparently, they have been experiencing strange paranormal disturbances around the home for some time.
Oh, this is that one guy we
Now they're
watched.
Is this the
turning to
one
Ouija
guy?
board
Yeah,
for
that had the
answers.
real extensive fakes.
I don't know how else to try to contact it. We got to find out what it wants. I'm gonna see if I can get it to leave us alone.
Because we were playing with a
Look
necrobomb.
closely and you
That's
can see the board
right.
quivering unnaturally as they speak.
Or tell us what you want, what it'll take to leave me and my family and our home alone, and never return. We're tired of this.
Never
Tell
return.
us what you want.
Jerry Wells asks what it wants, and BLOOD is the reply,
Of course.
followed by a metaphysical reaction.
What do you mean, blood? What the hell do you want? Come on now.
Oh my God, Tommy!
If this is fake, then I have no idea how they did this.
Mm.
You can clearly see underneath the table the entire time, so it's not magnets, and I don't see a string either. If you don't believe this is paranormal, then let me know how they managed to make the board shake and jump straight into the air. The legend of Slenderman has many different origins, but it always involves a long-limbed, faceless creature with a penchant for business suits and eating kids.
That's kind of a creepy spot to stop on. All right, here's my
That was
conclusion.
super creepy spot to stop on.
I don't know if Ouija boards are real. I'm not going to fuck with them at all, ever. I I don't know. I just
We at Talking Paranormal do not condone or encourage anyone to
No.
play with a Ouija board ever.
absolutely do not play with a Ouija board. There's when you go playing around with stuff you do not understand and things happen, that's your problem. You know what I mean?
You know what? Everybody watching this is an adult. You do what you want, but I mean, I'm not the boss of you. But
Hey, if you want to go play with a Ouija, hey Sean, I know this guy. He was our
Yeah,
buddy from Matt.
it's Sean. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey Sean, you go ahead and let us know what happens when you play with your Ouija board. He said earlier that his buddy has a vintage one for sale right now. Go ahead and buy it, and let us know how that goes.
vintage demons.
Yeah, nothing like a good old vintage demon, you know, a little patina. Good God. Yeah, nah. That's not fun for me. I don't even like the idea really. You know, I joke about it all the time, and I'm gonna have to do it. But I don't like the idea of going into these weird places trying to see stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd rather have something like what happened with Blake happen to me, like something just lets me know, yeah, there's something, you know, something strange out there. You know, maybe some life after death type thing.
Neighborhood. Where are you gonna go?
I just don't know.
Ghostbusters is legit, man.
I love Ghostbusters, dude.
Ghostbusters is legit, dude.
Well, of
I
course,
like that
Chris
movie.
loves Ghostbusters. They had a young version of him in the new one.
Good old podcast.
Bro, I kid you not. I about fell off my couch when I saw a podcast pop up. I'm telling you, dude, somebody that is in casting for that show is a fucking fan because that, I mean, he even had the same hairstyle as you, bro.
Yeah.
You can't tell me they're not a fan.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me.
Bro, I was dying.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know who podcast is, this is podcast.
Are you pulling them up?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull them up. It'll be funny. Let me see here. This is podcast.
Y'all tell me that whoever's in the casting department and whatnot for this movie
It's ridiculous.
is not an Albrecht fan.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
Like,
That's awesome.
Hold on a second, let me see here. Third one on the top row.
That's funny. I have a sense of humor. I think it's funny.
Bro,
that would be crazy if they really were fans and they
Bro, I'm telling you, there's no way they're not.
like we're casting this kid for sure. There's this one kid on this show called Talking Paranormal. All right, folks. You know, do what you will. But I highly suggest staying away from Ouija boards.
That's a Texas size 10-4.
You don't have to worry about me. I'm good.
Yeah. It's funny. Let's see what Sean says here. He says, I had a night where I was watching a movie and was alone, heard a loud bang from the other room and said, nope, waited until the morning. One of my concert posters fell off the wall, and after the frame was still hanging on the wall, the poster was face up on the decks on the other side of the room. Yeah, go ahead and play with that. Go ahead and play with that Ouija board. Let us know what it says.
You just go ahead.
One of these days we'll cover the Zozo legend. It's interesting, but I don't know if people know about Zozo. Then that's where it was tough with me with the Ouija board because the planchette was moving, but we were young, dude. You know, we're still in like late elementary school, and I can only imagine that somebody.
What do you mean late elementary school?
Like 6th grade.
That's middle school, Chris.
Not in Washington. Middle school is 7th and 8th grade.
Fucking Yankees and your weird shit.
Yeah. 7th and 8th grade is middle school.
Y'all brave.
1st through 6th is elementary, and then freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, high school.
Now, see, that's normal. That's normal. Middle school is 6th, 7th, and 8th, Chris.
Really? That's weird.
When I was a kid, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th was middle school.
Wow.
They just most recently, within the past 3 years here.
You know, for something ran by the government, there's a lot of discrepancies.
Yeah. 5th grade is now elementary here, but it used to be middle.
Yeah, see, here It's kindergarten through 5th is elementary.
That's how
And
it is here now.
Yeah, see,
and
my friend
then
Mike. Yeah, he knows. Yep.
whatever. So
Interesting.
and
Weird.
then 7th and 8th is no 6th and 7th is 6th, 7th, and 8th is middle school. No, wait a minute.
That's how it is here.
Keep in mind it's been over 20 years. So almost. So kindergarten through 5th, elementary. 6th and 7th is middle school. 8th and 9th is junior high. And then 10, 11, 12 is high school.
No, for us it's K through 5 elementary, and 6, 7, 8 is middle, and 9th through 12th is high.
Well, they put the freshmen with the 8th graders because we just have too many freaking kids. Like there's one graduating class here that was like 3,000 kids.
Jeez, dang, Arkansas.
We know what you guys do up there.
You guys just getting it in over there, man.
Look, guys.
Like rabbits.
The whole town shuts down at 8 p.m., so ain't much else to do.
What? Poke around in the dark.
Definitely no couch hockey.
Oh my god. On that note, folks, please remember, do not stick your dick in a portal.
Unless that portal's name is Cinnamon.
Anything is possible. And Matt, of course, what else?
It's 1,000% maybe Cinnamon. They'll be down for a good time.
And for sure, Blake, thanks for jumping on and sharing your story with us. For those of you car fans that like talking Mopars, we're going to be doing a Talking Mopar show here in just a few minutes. But yeah, what a fun story from Blake. And gosh, don't fuck with Ouija boards, dude.
Yeah, just don't do it.
Mind? That being said, buy one and see what I can find.
I can't stress this enough. Just don't do it.
Did I ever tell the story about the, you know, when smartphones first came out, there was a ghost hunting app. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Where it's like this radar and it shows you like dots and it also brings up random words.
I downloaded that. Yeah.
So I'll tell the story really quick. So I was working for this company. Many of you might have heard of it. It's a very famous junk company that was featured on the show Hoarders many times. This was a long, long time ago. So I downloaded this app because I had my first smartphone, and we go to this house, and this lady is just she's acting really weird, and I'm sitting on the top of her stairs after we remove all her junk, and I'm filling out her invoice, and she says, you know, my husband shot my son right there, and I was just like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. She's like, yeah, I've kept his room exactly how it was, and just this creepy story. And of course, I'm like, okay, have a nice day, see ya. And I had this app on my phone. I get in the truck, and my coworker's like, you should turn on the app. And I was like, no shit. I turn on the app, and right behind us on the app, there was a red dot, which means like a strong presence. I was like, weird. And this is where it gets stupid. And I don't want to admit this, but I will here. So I used to smoke a lot of weed. And at the time I was smoking weed, and we left that location and we started smoking some weed. And through that frickin' app, the word pipe came up, and I was like, all right, maybe I should put this thing down. It was very odd. I didn't believe that the app worked. However, that was very strange how that happened. And a couple other weird things happened. Just words being said through that thing. But what a weird thing. And I don't know if it's possible for that kind of communication, but I suppose it is. I mean, a lot of people use devices like that these days when they're hunting ghosts. But yeah, creepy. My friend Mike is, yeah, the shadow figure. Yeah. I don't know. It seems like everything happens. I feel like I'm on the cusp of having my own experience, and it's going to be so gnarly that, because I was thinking about the Zach Baggins thing from the museum. I didn't see it, like, except for that clown, but I still think Jizz the clown. I think it was a midget. I think it was a midget, or sorry, a little person dressed in all white. That's what I think it is.
Okay.
But yeah, I still have to see to believe. I have to see a ghost. I have to see an apparition. But yeah, man, I've never experienced anything. Not like you two lucky guys. Good God. But anyways, that was my quick story. I am drug free. I do not smoke marijuana anymore, although it is legal in my state. Definitely don't do that. All right, folks. Thank you for watching Paranormal. Sorry it was a late show this week. Next week we'll be back. I'm sure. Oh, next week I'll be in Arizona. Now that I think about it.
Next week will not happen.
Next week will probably not happen unless maybe I can get Vanessa to talk about some scary shit. I don't know if she's ever experienced anything crazy.
Ooh, yeah, let's
That'd
get
be
Vanessa talking.
Yeah. Let me talk to Vanessa and see if she wants to do the show. That'd be funny. But all right, folks. We'll see you when we see you. Thank you.
Good night.